It is. When is it? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had that mask. Sorry, I had that mask on while I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. It is Tuesday, February 24th, and I'm coming to you live from the shop. It has been quite a while. It has been a nice long time, a full week, since I was last live. So that's why I'm here 40 seconds now, and I don't see anyone joining us. It's not unfair. Nobody is ready for us to be live. It's been so long since we've been live. I did not look at the new books last Wednesday. By the time I had a chance to look at the new books, we had sold out of a whole bunch of them, and I had a lot of customers and a lot of talk for the whole conversational thing. And then after we had all of that, when Thursday was very busy. I was very, very busy here at the store on Thursday. I took breaks. I didn't overdo it, but and then by the time I was home, I was like, I don't have the energy to do the live stream. It's not in it for me. It's not going to happen. So I didn't do a live stream Wednesday. We didn't look at the new books. This last Thursday, I didn't do it. And then Fridays have been crazy. So yeah, we've got a full week. We haven't sold out of too many of the books that we started with last Tuesday. So I had to move a lot of them. But we did sell out, like I said, of a lot of the books from Wednesday. So I guess let's start with Wednesday because I'm gonna have to take those down in a couple of hours. So let's get over there. Sorry. Yesterday was once again a long, exhausting, muscle aching, heavy lifting, sweating, shoveling day. Interestingly enough, unlike the last storm where my storm guys island wide were like, oh, shovel between this and that quiet moment. No one said anything like that because the blizzard was going to be blowing stuff around. It was going to be crazy. So because of the blizzard being everywhere, I just didn't shovel until Monday at like noon when there was a quiet moment and it was supposed to stop for a while. And I went out there and oh my God, I pulled this one right here, absolutely pulled. My lower back up until just like an hour ago was in absolute agony for the day, So I just I did as much shoveling as I could, but there were literally things that I couldn't get done. It was just so heavy, so wet and thick and heavy. That's last time I did the snow. It was like 3 inches. I shoveled, I got it out of the way. It fell some more, so maybe I did another inch right after that original shoveling. Then I went back to it a few hours later. This time, I waited until after, basically, it didn't really snow again. And we were talking about a foot, 12 inches of thick, wet snow, especially on the bottom, right there on the bottom. It was like really, really hard. And then even worse, where the town had pushed me into my driveway, where they had plowed up the snow. The snow was absolutely like these tight, I'm trying not to curse too much, these tight nuggets of ice. And I had to ow, my arm actually still hurts. I had to really dig in like 4 times to get to the bottom. It was, and then I come into work. My wonderful landlord, my amazing landlord, every time shovels. I mean, it's not him, but he's got a crew. They do all his buildings. Fine. The freaking town of Huntington, plowed the sidewalk, and they obviously used lifters to put stuff in one place and plow it and push it, really push it in. And when they did that, a whole bunch of it came tumbling down right into the street. So I have a shoveled walk in front of my place, with a whole like avalanche of ice, and everyone did. All the different. Let's see if we can still see some. I know my neighbors next door at Happy Hunting, they shoveled theirs. They lent me their shovel, and I shoveled mine away. But it was like down to here. Yeah, you can still see over here a little bit. It came tumbling down. I started a little path over here, which the town didn't do either. But you know, what do you expect? They got the roads done. They got the stuff. You know, the parking spots in the back are mostly clear. What do they want from me? So yeah, whatever. It's something. Anyway, last week's single issue comics. Tomorrow we'll look at new ones. We'll look at this week's single issue comics. We got Mega Man X. We got a nice little Lenore book. We've got Death Fight Forever, which is the great Andrew McLean, Alexis Seared, and Al Gofa. They did a Kickstarter of this beautiful, sumptuous, crazy action book, and now they're releasing it through Image. We got a Black Panther 60th anniversary. We got Fielder, the latest Kevin Hazanga. Second issue of Psy, second issue of Dungeons of Doom, fifth issue of Starship Godzilla, final issue of Good is Dead, which I found a really great pitch for that book is now True Detective meets Crank. That's what this book is. And we have all 6 issues if you need it, but it will be coming out as a collected volume in May. Carmen Redclaw, 7076, CMY Kingdom, all new single issues. New Adventure Time, Spider-Man, Batman, Doctor Who, Null, Magic, New Avengers Powers, Uncanny X-Men. There was also a new Absolute Batman, but we're sold out of it. We will be getting more copies. I made sure to place a new copy order sooner than later, because Absolute Batman is one of those things that people are, wow, I guess it's because I was home with my kids for the last like day and a half because we closed early on Friday. I just was like, I find myself like just desperately wanting to curse more than I usually do. Absolute, people are just thirsty for Absolute Batman. They are hungry for it. They are desperate for it. Not in a way like you'll take the Uncanny X-Men, Joe? All right. Not in the sense of because Morbius is on it, Joseph. All right. They are like desperate for any issues of it, for any kind of it. They are like addicted to Absolute Batman, even if they have it already. They're like, well, what copies do you have? If you have some copies of Absolute Batman for spring, I mean, I'll give it a look. I'll check it out. It's very funny. Talked to Jim Rugg, right? I did the interview with Jim Rugg, which is going to come up here on the channel probably the beginning of March, maybe next week even. Maybe. It's a lot of editing. And I made a lot of jokes. I made a lot of references to all the different stuff going on in comics. And he got it. And then last night I did my interview with Trungles, right? Chung Li Wen, who does Magic Fish and Angelica and the Bear Prince. We did our interview, which will be up probably the end of March, and hopefully. And he was like, he had no idea what Absolute Batman was. Like, he'd heard the name. He has no idea what it's like in comic shops. He does graphic novels for kids. Anyway, speaking of graphic novels for kids, let's look what we got here. We've got Just Between Us, Adeline Kahn's beautiful book about figure skating, perfectly timed. The American teams and people who grew up in America and are on the American teams did very well in figure skating this year. Figure skating is popular again, so it was perfect timing. I did not get a lot of copies, so let me know if you want it. Galaxis, which is a fun action-adventure manga. I think it's trying to do techno-magical stuff that would be similar to Witch Hat's pure magical stuff. I only read a tiny little preview of it, so I'm not sure that's the first volume. Blue Lock has started to put out Omnibuy. They've got 27 volumes at it, so they could do 9 of these to catch up, and you'd have all of... look at this. It's nice and embossed. There's a little raised area here. It's actually everything, even the people. Oh, look at this. Their little faces. The mouths aren't embossed, but the noses. This little nose is embossed. How interesting! What an extra detail. I wonder if the second, like the ball is actually indented on all these little dots. I wonder if the later editions, when they reprint the Omnibuy, will be done. Cyberpunk Edge Runners has a one-off madness. Rick and Morty manga has a sequel, Faster by Jesse Lonergan. If you did not have this wonderful comic when we got it as a self-published, Bulgarian put them out now as a really nice French flap. This is really a beautiful racing comic that Jesse made, very formalist and beautiful, as all of Jesse's stuff is. I'll take a survey. It doesn't look like anyone's on now, but if you come in and you want me to open this and look at it before I'm done, we will look at it. My favorite VTuber is Scary IRL. This is someone who turns out he lives next to his favorite VTuber, but she is nowhere near as nice as she is on her channel. Itchy the Killer Volume 3 in the big Omnibuy edition. We have all 3 of these in stock. Godzilla, look at this beautiful Godzilla Ruler of the Earth, which, as Joe pointed out, is the 4th volume of the Godzilla Master Collection. This is that whole 4th volume, all of Godzilla Ruler of the Earth in one little compact edition. $14. $14 for this chunk of Godzilla. Wow, it's heavy. There is weight here. This is something. Like, you could bounce this thing. It is big and it is thick. Wow. Okay, Godzilla. Glad I got a couple of those. All the Living, Roman Morvade's book about mortality and the ghosts that leave behind. All these. You'll try the VTuber book, Joseph? Okay. I'm not even going to ask. Zootopia, collecting the 5 issues of the Zootopia sequel comic. Maybe we don't put the next Itchy the Killer. The Zootopia sequel comic. We got my girl, Judy Hopps. Look at that, very full of herself. That is Bunny, who knows what she is doing, and that is one smug fox. Really fun. I read the first couple issues of this series. It's almost like a DuckTales-esque adventure with Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. I think they're both cops at the beginning of this, even though they're using that picture. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it has nothing to do with the new movie, which I still haven't seen. Deep Space Nine Omnibus, giant collection of the Deep Space Nine comics that DC put out way back. Oh. Mr. Terrific Year 1, beautiful art here by Valentin Delandro and Edwin Gilman, going between Mr. Terrific's first year, the beginning of the year, and the end of the year. How he became Mr. Terrific, how he became the superhero he is, and how he succeeded in his first major goal. Power Fantasy Volume 2. I ordered a whole bunch of Power Fantasy Volume 1s to restock. They haven't arrived yet, but Kieran Gillen's fantastic superhero book, really wonderful. Small Favors. I don't think I can show some of the interior pages of Colleen Coover's fantastic, as they say, girly porno collection. Small Favors starts with the story of these 2 girlfriends, one of whom becomes tiny. It's a little suggestive already on the cover with her open mouth and finger where the finger is. So I'm not going to go any more in depth to that, but it's been reprinted a couple times by Oni, and but it has been out of print for 3 or 4 years, so we got that back. Sorry, I got to make room now. DC's Finest actually is some of DC's finest stuff. They own The Demon, Jack Kirby's The Demon. This has the Ditko fill-in issue. I think this has the original 16 issues plus later appearances. Really is tremendous stuff. Like all the DC Finest, they do it on really good slight gloss paper. It's really, you see the paper? Really gives the colors and the shading back to where they were. But it's not as super cheap or thin as the $10 collection. It's really one of Kirby's great creations. Look at Etchinger. Come on, he's a man. What else we got? We got Superman Unlimited. This is the Dan Slott Superman, where Kryptonite comes all over the Earth. This is the first 6 issues of that series. Really crazy stuff. Like, if you want to read a Superman book that goes, you think you know Superman, we're going to change everything about him, this is the book for you. And it really is basically Superman, but he has a whole bunch of other powers, a whole bunch of crazy things that go on. We've got Vincent van Gogh, Sadness That Will Last Forever, a biography of the great Van Gogh. He's probably had, not the most, but some of the most graphic novels ever made about him. He's probably one of the painters out there with the most books written about him in comic form. We've got Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. This is a beautiful series by Charles Soule, Steve McNiven. I mean, look, I don't normally stock 5 or 6 copies of a Marvel hardcover right off the bat. I just wait for the softcover. But this book is gorgeous. McNiven absolutely destroyed. Look, every single line is sumptuous and amazing. He was working on this. My customer Joey, who edits my YouTube video, said he was working on this when he was on Cartoonist Kayfabe in like 2020, and it came out in 2025. Just look at it. It's really, really tremendous. It obviously owes a lot to Miller. Check the grid work, the use of Electra, even just this scene right here owes a lot to Miller. But it is a little bit more modern. It's an old Daredevil getting his revenge. And then last but not least, Dick Tracy, 1941, a beautiful slipcase like they were doing their Popeye collection over at Clover, where they do it sideways. It's a nice sideways book that has the collection, but they got a nice all-red super watch, what was it called? Radio watch, transmitter watch cover, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah.